Hey you guys, it's Ani. Happy Friday. We got a good video today. I actually was gonna share a success story today, but I'm feeling not to. Like I'm gonna leave that success story for next Friday maybe. I'm feeling like a download to actually talk about different stuff with you guys today, and I think it's gonna help you in your manifestation journey, even today, this weekend, upcoming year. So I'm going to talk about proper mental diets. I'm going to talk about what it actually looks like to have a proper mental diet. I'm going to talk about why not being obsessed with something brings it in quicker. Why SPs or X's or everything else related in that topic, they come back when you start doing you. How money becomes obsessed with you when you're less obsessed with it. So it's going to be like a bunch of stuff I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, before I forget, sale is going on. My sale ends tomorrow, you guys. My sale of $25 off coaching and courses sale ends tomorrow. So you can use the code FLASH25, FLASH25, all stuck together on the website. Link should be in the description box down below. If you need help getting there, just comment under here or email us to access it. You get, so if you want to buy if you want to buy coaching, you get to book 3 sessions, up to 3 at the discounted rate, future sessions. And then courses, whichever course you like, you can choose online and put in the code and you'll get the discount right away. And then you get the course right away. So you guys, I want to talk about, so I just had clients and I want to talk about a few things I was actually talking to them about. So first of all, I want to talk about mental diets. Mental diets, you probably think mental diets are probably flipping thoughts all day or affirming all day or anything like that. To each person, a mental diet is different. For example, for me, a mental diet is, yes, you need to be aware of your thoughts, but you need to also observe, like not just react to the thought. What I see a lot in people's mental diets is they get the thought that doesn't serve them popping up throughout the day many times, which is very normal. Remember, how we program our brain is what will keep coming up. That's why we work on reprogramming the subconscious mind. So number 1, those self-sabotaging thoughts come up less, and number 2, so the thoughts that actually serve you start showing up and start pushing out in your 3D. Okay, but what I see a lot is people get the triggering thoughts come up, and instead of observing and understanding that this is just a pattern that happens, which is normal, it's the pattern I've programmed myself to think, right? Instead of thinking that way, people take it very like reactive. Like, oh my God, I just had a negative thought. I need to flip it right now. And if I don't flip it, I'm going to create that. I'm going to manifest that. And everything's going to be really bad going forward. No. You are okay. You're able to observe the programming that you've set yourself up for. You're able to observe those thoughts, dismiss them, and you're able to actually decide in that moment. So instead of flipping the thought right away, like, no, I choose to feel, my SP chooses me right now. I'm not rejected. My SP chooses me right now. Sometimes, for a lot of people, not sometimes, but majority of the people I talk to, that feels that doesn't give them comfort. It makes them feel like they're pushing up against resistance. So if you are one of those people, I prefer you to approach it this way: a mental diet. Observe the thought. You didn't like the thought. It's an old programming thought. It keeps coming up. You're used to it. Fine. So we approach it this way. I've decided that I'm no longer going to identify with that thought. I've decided I'm no longer going to identify of being that type of person that's not chosen. Okay? So wording matters. As you can see, that is, it seems like it carries more power, no? Like, I've decided that I'm no longer gonna allow this to take over me. Number one, I've decided that I'm no longer gonna allow this type of thought to trigger me. I've decided that because I no longer identify as being that person. Going in deeper, when you no longer want to identify, right? Let's say as someone not being chosen, you have to start showing up as that person. Start embodying the version you're identifying as, right? So if I identify as chosen, let's say, right? If I identify as someone that is chosen, what am I going to do throughout the day? How is my mental diet going to be? I'm going to find every reason and excuse and evidence that I'm chosen, and I'm going to milk the crap out of it, because that's what a chosen person would do and feel. Just like someone that's rich and wealthy, right? They're not going around looking at all the lack in their life, right? They're looking at every stream of income. They're looking at every opportunity. They're looking at every cent and dollar that comes in, right? It's the abundant mindset, right? So if you are someone that's struggling with the poor mental diet of abundance, right? You, instead of looking at everything that you're lacking and every bill that you need to pay, right? And every expense, everything you paid already, instead of doing that, which is identifying as someone in lack, you start identifying as someone in abundance. And what would you do in that point? How would mental diet be? You would start picking and picking and picking every opportunity and every abundant evidence you can find within your life, and you milk that. This is how we switch parallel realities, by the way, too. This is how you shift from lack to abundance. This is how you shift from not being chosen to being chosen. Okay? And if these videos aren't in depth enough for you to have like a homework or to have a routine, this is why I have courses too, for actual like step by step what to do type of homework throughout the day, throughout the weeks, for you to actually level up and reprogram the mind if this is not enough for you. Okay? But again, proper mental diet is not just, oh, let's flip the thought. Let's flip the thought. I feel not chosen. No, I am chosen. No, sometimes it's deeper than that. Sometimes you have to actually go in with a few statements of, I choose to identify as chosen. And what does that look like for me? What does chosen look like for me? If I have examples of being chosen in my life, which we all do, right? Let's say you're not being chosen by SP, but your family's choosing you, your cousins are choosing you, your friends are choosing you, your pets are choosing you, your boss is choosing you, right? You have all these other departments to take like reference from, to take examples from, which you should. Your focus in manifestation should be equally balanced, evenly distributed in all areas of your life, because this also causes you to not be obsessed with one area. Because what does obsession mean in manifestation? It means you're pushing it further away. It means you are in lack, right? I always talk about this. Going into that topic of obsession, why do people always come back when you don't care? Why do exes come back when you don't care? Why does the money start flowing in when you don't really need it? Or we always need it, but why does it come in when you're not worried about the bills being paid? Why does everything come in and work out so quickly when you are detached, right? Before I continue, if you have recently experienced a manifestation that's come in when you were super detached, you weren't worrying about it at all, it was very out of the blue, comment down below. Why do things come in when we're not having a tight grip on them, when we're not obsessed and desperate about them, when we're not chasing them? Why? Because In this physical realm, we are working with energy, we are working with frequency, and we are working with everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is a reflection of you. What does that mean? When you become obsessed with a person, place, thing, or money, the energy of it feels your energy like this. And what do you do, for example, if someone gets in your face, right? You're kind of like, whoa, you step back, right? Because it doesn't feel comfortable. Everyone is you pushed out. They feel your energy pushing on them and they kind of step back. When you step back and when you're more confident within and you're more calm within, not chasing, you now create space for this thing to come in. The best way I can describe this is probably you've felt it on your own skin. I'm sure you've felt this in your life. When someone is not pressuring you with, it's not even verbal, you guys. A lot of people tell me, well, I don't say it to them, I just think it, right? It doesn't matter if it's verbal or not. The energy is speaking louder. Okay? So in your life, look back. In your life, there have been people that are so cool to be around. They never pressure you. Even when you feel like you have to explain or justify or whatever, they're just like, it's cool. Like, it's totally cool. Like, we can hang out whenever you want, right? You always want to be around that person, right? Because they're not holding you like in this tight grip of, oh, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you come out? Why didn't you show up for me? Why didn't you do this one? They're not in this desperate, cringe, obsessive energy towards you, which welcomes you to go closer to them, correct? This is the same thing when you're super, 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 super desperate and you're trying to, excuse me, when you're trying, it's so funny that I coughed at this very moment of this message because this is hard for people to take in. This message I'm about to say. Did I do get your drinks, get your snacks, you guys? I've been forgetting. Get your drinks, get your snacks. I'm about to say something super important. This is what I was going to say when I was shut down, but I'm going to say it. When you try to strategize anything in your life, when you try to strategize or manipulate or, oh, let me do this thing so that person can see and then they can reach out to me. Let me post this story so they can see, they can remember me, they can reach out to me. Let me send this text message so they can feel bad or do this or do that, and then they'll reach out to me, they'll remember me. Whatever you do to strategize and manipulate the 3D to get what you want, you're in lack. That's a great way to identify all of this. You are in lack when you are trying to strategize. You are in lack when you're trying to manipulate. You are in lack when you're trying to get validation from outside, when you're always searching for evidence to prove that you're right, to prove that this person does love you, the money will come in. It's so much trying energy, which is, again, lack. You are in the parallel reality of lack. How do you get out of it? Well, first you need to recognize that you're in it. First, you need to recognize that that uncomfortable feeling you are creating internally by doing all of this is uncomfortable because it's not your truth. It's uncomfortable because it's not supposed to happen that way. It's better for you to watch your mental diet and the way I said, like, you've decided you're going to break this cycle. You've decided like, if you catch yourself strategizing, right, on how to get the thing you want, or you're trying super hard, you're trying 10,000 techniques a day and it's not working. When you catch yourself there, your self-talk needs to be your priority, and your self-talk needs to be like, yo, what are you doing? Why are we trying so hard right now? We know that this is not manifestation. Us trying hard is not manifestation. Us shifting into the right mindset to get better evidence is manifestation. That is reprogramming. So I'm deciding right now, I'm no longer going to show up as the person that strategizes. I'm no longer going to show up as the person that has to prove my worth. I'm no longer going to show up as this person, this version of me that's not getting what they want for the last few months and years. Right? Because if you look at your history, you're probably repeating the same cycle over and over and over again. And if I'm right, type an amen down there in the comment section. Like, if I'm right, if you keep finding yourself in a repetitive cycle with your SP, with a new SP, with an old SP, with 5 new SPs, with money, with bills, with jobs. I hear it all the time, you guys. I hear it all the time. Same person doesn't change their programming, doesn't put in the work to do a proper mental diet. They're doing a mental diet from lack. What does mental diet look like from lack? You're reactive. Oh, I just had a negative thought. Let me flip that negative thought. Oh my God, I can't think that negative thought. I have to think of a thought that serves me. No. That's not a proper mental diet. I'm sorry. That's a reactive mental diet. You're coming from lack and you're pushing the lack. Like, no, we can't think that way. We're going to ruin everything. No. A proper mental diet, again, is you know that from a calm place, from a neutral, calm place, you identifying the thoughts that don't serve you and then deciding on how you're going to show up going forward, how you're going to identify, how you're going to embody this new version of you. That's a proper mental diet. Because you don't only just say it or think it, then you actually show up as that person. Does that make sense? You show up as that person. Like, everyone always asks me, Ani, how do you win so many jackpots? How do you win so many jackpots? How did you manifest your 6-figure car? How is your schedule always booked? You know, how are you going on all these luxurious vacations and all of that? And it's not even about, like, I'm not even trying to toot my horn right now. I've been also in a place where that wasn't the case before I reprogrammed myself. A lot of people ask me, how is that possible, right? Because I embody that version of me. There was once a time I wouldn't embody it. Like, I would just hope and wish for it. But then I stopped coming from a hoping, wishing place, and I started embodying it. And what does it look like when you embody, like, you are a jackpot winner every time? What does it look like when you embody being able to have a luxurious lifestyle? You start imagining it. You start showing up as that, right? You start, for example, someone that wants to have a luxurious lifestyle, or someone that wants to win a lot of money, right? You don't sit there and think of all the ways this wouldn't work out. You don't sit there and think of, oh my God, but like, what if I lose? What if then this will happen? And then the consequences. What you actually do is you start visualizing, if I were that person already, how would I show up in the world? How would I show up in friendships? How would I show up? Like, who would I tell? How would they congratulate me? You're in a mindset of, like, receiving, not lacking. Does that make sense? But what we as humans are programmed to do is to look at all the lack in every department of life. You're in survival mode. You're looking at all the lack so you can, like, I don't know, have a game plan, like plan B, plan C, plan D. You know, you're in fight or flight. You're in survival. So you have to always know, what's your plan B, what's your plan C. That is, again, coming from a wrong reality, coming from a wrong mindset, coming from a wrong mental diet. You know? Also, you guys, I want to mention something. Anytime I share winning at the casino or jackpots, or this goes for everything, not even that. Like, anything you do with manifestation or in your life, do it with, show up with discipline. Show up with discipline. Like, if, you know, if we say like, yeah, you know, we're not against you texting your SP, you know, we're not against you entering a sweepstakes, we're not against you, I don't know, buying a lottery ticket, whatever, but the discipline comes from you too. So texting SP wouldn't mean texting to a point you're going to get blocked and you're obsessive and you're annoying the person, right? Buying a lottery ticket doesn't mean buying every single lottery ticket the liquor store has to offer and then feeling like you're in lack because you just lost so much money or you just invested so much money. You know what I mean? I know this sounds so ridiculous that I even have to say this disclaimer, but mental diet also equals discipline. So whatever you do, approach it with some discipline. Approach it with a proper mental diet. Don't like go crazy and then blame like manifestation. Do you know what I mean? I don't, it was weird that I even have to say it, but sometimes I have to say these things. If this video helped, you guys comment down below. I intend you apply everything I talked about in this video today and in the upcoming days and see how your life changes with consistency by doing this. Again, my sale is ending tomorrow, so take advantage of it today. Links are going to be in the description box down below. Code again is FLASH25. You guys got this. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.